All right, everybody, I am so excited to let you know that we are making plans right now for our homecoming. That's right, we are coming back home into our building, getting ready to phase back in person. Yes, in-person services, programs, and events. Our board is working so hard to make sure we do this faithfully, safely, ethically, and joyfully to get ready to be not only a church that exists online, but also once again in person. And so more details are going to come your way shortly. But right now, I want to remind you that on September 19th, that Sunday morning at 10 a.m., we are having our homecoming party. It's a chance for us all to come back into the church building, to reconnect, to celebrate, to hear a bit about what we're planning to do, and get that momentum built up to be an in-person church once again. And then the following Sunday on September 26th, we're going to have our very first in-person worship Sunday service. It will also be live streamed, so if you are just joining us online, don't worry, you can still get in on all that good stuff, but we'll also be able to do in person as well. And so stay tuned for what's going to happen after that. Those plans are going to be made very, very shortly, and we'll let you know all about them. But all this to say, it's happening, friends. We are getting ready to phase back in some in-person stuff. We'll let you know all the details, all the restrictions, how we're going to keep it safe, but also amazing. So September 19th, September 26th, put it on your calendars, put it in your phones, and I want to see you there. Hey friends, welcome back to a Sunday service with Red Deer Lake United Church. My name is Nick, I am the minister here, and I gotta say, it is so good to be back with you. If you are just joining us, I have been away for a month. You haven't seen this mug for quite some time. It has been such a gift and a joy and a treat to head off for a month and not do much of anything. I don't even know what I did on my vacation. It was that kind of vacation. You know those breaks you take when you have this list of things that you would love to do that are going to be so joyful and rejuvenating, and by the end of it you're like, I don't even think I looked at the list. Yeah, it was that kind of break. It just became what it needed to be, which I think sometimes is the best kind of rest. But I am back. Thank you for that break, and it is so good to be here. This, if you are just joining us, this is our Sunday service, and we are Red Deer Lake United Church. We are an affirming church that gratefully gathers on Treaty 7 land, and what we are all about is finding in the way of Jesus a new way to be human and alive in this world. This way we say that's connected with God, each other, and ourselves. This way of life that's rooted in those beautiful things like hope, joy, justice, community, hospitality, play, wonder, curiosity, and awe. Those things that transform us from the inside out and help us be the kinds of people who transform the world around us, turning it into one where everybody has enough and everyone has a place. Yeah, that is who we are. That is what we are all about. And this is our Sunday service. This is a thing we do that roots us in that life, that lets us know we're not doing it alone, and gives us all the wisdom, the tricks, the mentalities, the perspectives, the truths that we can hold on to as we try to become those kinds of people creating that kind of world. And so as we get into that, let me say this. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever you are bringing in with you, whatever's going on in you and around you, know that you're welcome, wanted, and accepted here. Whether you are super churchy or you're like, I don't even know why I'm here, I don't buy any of this stuff. Cool, I get it. There's still room for you here. There's room for all of us here. That's what it means to have a God of extravagant and indiscriminate love. There's room for all. And so choose to be here, choose to lean into this. It's going to be such a good service. I am so excited for this, and we've got some good stuff coming your way. And so as we take a chance to start, what do? I forget how we even do these things. This is great. Let's check in. Who are you? Where are you from? Somewhere on your screen there is a comment box if you are watching this live. If you're watching it later, it's going to be down below. One way we can practice being an affirming, loving community is by checking in. So find that box, let us know who you are, let us know where you come from. Let's connect on there throughout the entire service. And so as you check in there, we are going to begin with this. We're going to start with a song and then an opening meditation. And I invite you to use these however you will. If you want to sing along with the song, do that. If you just need to let your spirit and body catch up with each other, great. Do that. If you just need to just breathe, great. Do that. But whatever you do, let's remember that this is a good place to be. That you are welcome, that you are wanted, and you are accepted here. And that God, that source of life, that ground of being, that mystery underneath it all, that extravagant and indiscriminate love is with us and for us. And so, my friends, as we begin our service together, as always, may peace be with you.
Thou fount of every bliss, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never cease, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of God's unfailing love. Here I pause in my sojourn, giving thanks for having come to trust that every turning God will guide me safely home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, came to rescue me from danger. Precious presence, precious blood. Grace, how great a debt, oh, daily I am drawn anew. Let thy grace now, like a fetter, guide my wandering unto you. Prone to wander, Lord, I need it. Wander from the love I've known. Here's my heart. Oh, take and seal it for your very own. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for your very own.
You made this world, you made this world, you made this world. Thank you, thank you. You gave me life, you gave me life, you gave me life. Thank you, thank you. You brought this peace, you brought this peace, you brought this peace. You sowed these seeds, you sowed these seeds, you sowed these seeds. Thank you. Your love is everywhere. Your love is everywhere. is everywhere. Your love is everywhere. Your love is everywhere. Open me, open your love, love. Oh, your love. Oh, open me, yeah. Let it come through me now. Let it come through me now. Let it come through me now. Let it come through. Let it come through me now. Let it come through me. Let it come through me. Let your love, love.
Everywhere, everywhere.
Your love is everywhere. Open me, open me, open. Your love is everywhere. Your love is everywhere. Oh, you're everywhere. Open me, open me, open me. Open me, oh yeah. Open me, yeah. You made this world, you made this world, you made this world. Thank you, thank you.
All right, my friends, it is sermon time. My first sermon in a month. Woo! Okay, you can do this. You can do this. And today's sermon, what we're going to do is look at this ancient and sacred story. And as with every other ancient and sacred story, we're going to ask it some questions. We're going to ask it, what does it mean to be human and alive in this world? How do we live deeply and fully and well? What does a life connected with God, each other, and ourselves look like? How can we be the kinds of people that God is calling us to be? Yeah, those are the questions we're going to ask this story. And the story that we're looking at today, it is from the Bible. You can find it in the Hebrew scriptures. And you can find it if you want to follow along in 1 Kings chapter 19. We're not going to read it because it's a long one. We're just going to look at one little part of it, so I don't want us to get distracted by all the other details. But the gist of it goes like this. There is a guy named Elijah. He is a prophet, and he not only just shamed a whole bunch of other prophets from this other god, but because shaming them wasn't really enough and humiliating them wasn't really enough, what Elijah decided to do was kill them all. He killed like thousands of them. Yeah, it's pretty violent. And upon hearing, surprise, surprise, that some people didn't really like him doing that and were out for his head, he took off. He went and hid. He tried to get as far away from them as possible. So he's running and running and running away from them. He's looking over his shoulder constantly. He's in fear for his life. All his plans, his life is flashing before his eyes. It's taking everything out of him to run away and hide from these people that are chasing him. And he runs for so long, our story says, that he collapses under this tree and he cries out to God saying, God, I am done. I can't take this anymore. It's over. Take me now. And in response to that, we're told that an angel appears, prepares a meal for him, and says, eat this and take a nap. Eat this and take a nap. And Elijah does, and then he wakes up. He's feeling refreshed. He's feeling the best he's felt in a long, long time. And then we're told he walks up a mountain to have a conversation with God. And that's our story. That's how the story goes. And now there are plenty of places we could go with this story. There's so much wisdom baked into this. But as I was reflecting on that story this time, and I was paying attention to the wisdom that it could offer us, the thing I kept seeing within it is this blueprint, this pattern, this template of what we can do when things fall apart. What I saw within this story of Elijah is this pattern of what we can do when we're feeling done, of what we can do when we're just absolutely exhausted, when we have that moment when we look up to God, we're like, God, if you're going to take me, now would actually be pretty convenient. I would not mind at all, right? Because we've all said something like that, haven't we? We all know that feeling. We know what it's like when everything falls apart. We know what it feels like to be on the outs and out on the run. We know what it feels like when things add up and it's just too much. We know what it's like when we just can't go on anymore, when we feel like there's no hope, there's no future, when it feels like the ground is falling out from underneath us. We know what it's like to ask God to be, you know what? Just take me now. Just take me now. It would solve all my problems if you just took me now. Right? Anyone know what I'm talking about? We've all felt that way, right? Yeah, we've all had those moments. We know this story. And we know this because we've experienced the truth that suffering happens. That sometimes life goes sideways. And despite our best intentions, despite our hopes and our dreams and all the plans that we have, sometimes things just don't work out and things fall apart. And I think this story is speaking to people like us, to people like Elijah, people who are experiencing everything falling apart and they're just out on the run trying to get away from it all. Are you with me? You know what I'm talking about? I think we all do. And what I see here in this story is this little bit of wisdom. This thing we can hold on to, something that is just subversively and unexpectedly simple, yet so powerful. Something that we can, in those moments, use to lower the temperature. Something that can ease our anxiety. Something that can help us breathe a bit easier. And something that will help us not give up. Which I think is something we're all looking for, right? We all want something to hold on to in those moments that can help us. Oh, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Right? Yeah. And that little bit of wisdom, it goes like this. When everything is falling apart, the thing we always need to remember to do is to eat something and take a nap. Yeah. When everything falls apart, the thing that we have to do is remember to eat something and take a nap. And now we can spiritualize that all we want, but I'm talking literally here. I'm talking about those moments when everything is falling apart. Go make yourself a sandwich and go put your feet up. When it all falls apart, what this story teaches us is that what we have to do is stop and be kind to ourselves. Yeah, that's the wisdom, I think, that's in this story. And I love this because it shows why we need these stories in the first place. It shows why, regardless of how religious or unreligious we may be, it shows why these stories are worth reading. And this story in particular is worth reading because it pushes back against some values, some conventional pop wisdom, some lessons and norms that really shape us and our lives and our world. And one of the things this story pushes back against is this message that says when things get tough, when you are on the run and on the outs, when things are falling out from underneath you and you feel done and you yell up to God to take me now, the thing you have to do is keep on going, right? Yeah, you got to power through. You got to fight back. You got to persevere. Hustle, press on. Yeah, that's the message we get, isn't it? That's the conventional popular wisdom in our world. That even when it's hard, even when you're beyond your limitations, you gotta keep going. We worship stuff like that. We make movies about stuff like that. We love it. We eat it up. It is so inspirational. But this story says no. No way. There's something else you need to do. There's something else you need to do when it all falls apart. And what you need to do is stop and be kind to yourself. What you need to do is stop moving, stop going, stop rushing, but eat something and take a nap. So good, right? Yeah. It's counterintuitive. It feels counterproductive, and yet it feels so sacred. There's something to this, isn't there? Yeah, it hums with a reverence. I love it. I love it because I know I need it. Anyone else need this message? Yeah, I think this is something that we all need. I get that feeling of like, oh, this is speaking to me. Something is being pressed. A button is being pressed, right? Yeah. Yeah, let me know that I'm not alone in this. I think this is something that we all need. Because the truth is, the liberating, beautiful, and scandalous truth is that God allows us to feel done and tired. The truth is we're allowed to be done and tired. There's no shame in being done and tired. It's okay to be done and tired. And what this story tells us is that in those moments when we're feeling done, the thing we should do isn't push through. It isn't man up. It isn't hustle and keep going. But instead to do the opposite. To eat something and to take a nap. Which is to say to rest. To stop moving. To take a break and be kind to yourself. Which is to say something pretty sacred and radical. It's to say that we are worthy of taking a break. That we are worthy of that act of kindness. That we don't need to prove anything. We don't need to earn anything. And it's there, in and through that radical act of self-love, that we can find the thing that we need to keep on going. That we can find a thing that will make us feel truly whole. A little more at peace. A little more rested. A little more rejuvenated. A little more hopeful. It's there in and through those acts of self-care and kindness and rest that we can find what we need to keep on going. Yeah. There's a power to say no, isn't there? There is a subversive power to taking a break. There's something to that kindness. I think that's what we're seeing with this whole Simone Biles thing. When she decided to opt out of competing anymore, that's what makes her so inspirational. It's not that she can do things that just blow my mind. The thing that inspires me the most, the thing that is making her such an icon and a hero, is the fact that she chose to take a break. She realized she couldn't go on anymore. And so instead of persevering, instead of just manning up and doing it anyways and risk hurting herself, she did the most counterintuitive, counterproductive, unimaginable thing you could do at the Olympics. She said no. She chose to rest, eat something, and take a nap. Yeah, that's what makes her so amazing. Her story is Elijah's story. Her story is our story. She role models the thing that we have to do when everything falls apart. Eat something and take a nap. And so to those of you who are living this story, to those of you whose lives and worlds are falling apart, to those of you who feel done and tired, to those of you who are looking up and saying, God, take me now. Here's a question for you. It's a question for us because I think this is all of us. How can you say no? How can you say no to the grind? To those who are saying, go, 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 press on. And how can you do that liberating, radical, and beautiful act of self-care and kindness? By taking a break. What does that rest look like for you? What does taking a nap and eating something look like for you? And whatever that is, may you have the courage to do it. And may you find there the thing that you are looking for, the thing that you need to keep on going to make you feel a bit more whole, a bit more rested, a bit more rejuvenated. And may you know that you are worthy of that rest, that you are worthy of that break. And so, my friends, to those of you who need it, go take a nap, go eat something, and may grace and peace be with you. So, Spirit of life, we take some time now to pray, to open up, to soften up, to invite you in. With all that's going on in us and around us, the good, the bad, the ugly, the hard, the difficult, the sweet, the beautiful, the powerful, the very heights and depths of it all, we take some time now to ask you to go to work. In us and around us, healing, renewing, holding, empowering, celebrating, forgiving, nurturing, energizing, challenging, and loving. Spirit of life, may you hear these prayers and may you go to work. And so, loving God, these are our prayers. The things that we can name, the things that we can only sigh. Help us to know that you've heard them, and help us to know that you are at work in us and around us. But may we also remember that we have to go to work too. That we are called to be the answers to our own prayers and the prayers of those around us. That we are called to be the very presence of Christ in the world. The very source of light, love, and life. And so help us to be those kinds of people. People who listen, who move, who work, who heal, renew, hold, empower, celebrate, forgive, nurture, energize, challenge, and love. And so knowing that you call us to be those kinds of people, knowing that's what it means to be human and alive in this world, we think of the prayer that your Son taught us to pray, and we pray it together, saying, Our Mother, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, friends, that is everything for this week. Our hope and our prayer, as always, is you got something out of this. Whether it was through something that happened on the screen or something that was just in here. You're feeling a bit more alive, you're feeling a bit more human, a bit more grounded, maybe a bit more rested, ready to go out and continue being the kinds of people that God calls us to be. So thank you so much for being here. It means a lot that you show up for these things. We'd love to see you on Zoom. It's happening right now after this. We're going to keep these conversations going. It's a great way to continue the work that we started here. You can find the link in the description below. Click that right now and we'll see you there in a couple minutes. If you have enjoyed these things, if you're like, yes, I need this is important to me, I see its value, we would love for you to donate to our church. Every little bit helps us continue to do this work. You can find the link again in the description below. It'll take you to our website. There you can make a one-off donation, or you can even make recurring payments straight out of your bank account. It's easy peasy and a great way to support some really important and wonderful work. So please go and do that. It would mean so much to us if you would support this work. And we'll see you next time. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your story is, we'd love to see you back here again as we learn through Jesus what it means to be human and alive in this world and make this world more like the one that God made it to be. And so my friends, as you head out, may you go in peace, may you go in love, may you go and do it loudly. May grace and peace be with you. Bye-bye.